Alright, I am now at the tunnel city of Stonefang Tunnels, aka the second phase of that state of Stonefang Tunnels, or mining stage, however you wanna call it. And this stage, right at the beginning, splits into two. And there are minecarts which explode coming towards me. So I could turn left and get myself into a huge unpleasant maze of all kinds of unpleasant, dangerous things. Yeah, those explode. All kinds of unpleasant things. Or I could just walk into the left, where there is, well, a bunch of miners first. Which aren't that dangerous, and that stab goes something like through the kidney. Oh yeah, I could simply, well actually I'm gonna do just a dash, because no need to start fighting against all those guys, scale miners, because this would look a pit, but it ain't. It's actually a path downwards, because the other path, well, it would, well, the most of the treasures and stuff, handy stuff of the stage is at there, but this is actually the path to get into the boss of the stage or area. And I would say that he is one of the, or it is one of the more dangerous things this game actually has. Well, it's gonna be shown once I get there. Just dropping down through all these little wooden platforms, and it takes some observation to go down that way you wanna go, because direct fall, even with the quite weird falling damage of this game, is nothing, leads into a wet splattering sound of death. So it is very carefully looking where you're going, and then once you are there, very carefully just trying to find your direction where you're going and drop down, hope for best, and don't hope not to die. Yep, I got down, and these are the rock worms. They are quite common enemies around here. But luckily they got a weak spot in their head, and they're also weak against magic attacks. So they can actually go down quite easily. Meaning that this second phase of the Stonefang Tunnels is actually quite easy. And I already did some recon about this location. Just to, well, I cleared out some of the items in here and just tried to get some more familiarity with the location. So let's just see what I have. Cling ring and a thief ring on, all kinds of, and arrows to my bow. And what does this say? It's not safe here, thank you. Only had some friends. Yeah. Enter the fog. It's fiery demon called Flame Lurker. So, but it doesn't spot me yet because I am having the cling ring. So let's just try to, and he is, you could say, one of the most scary bosses of the entire game. Because of quite immense amount of aggressiveness he has. Yep, firebombs. Alright, wait. Right. Where's the location? There should be a location I could go to avoid him. Using poison. Yeah, I got him. Yeah, he is not immune to poison attack. Yeah, it looks like they either do I manage to avoid him here? Yep, it is. There's a weak. There's a little spot I can use this spot to hide from it. Couple of magic attacks. Yep, I can quite much dictate how I wanna face him. And he is quite big amount of damage from magic attacks, so fighting. So this boss, you could say, it's not so much of a gimmick fight or a puzzle fight like some other bosses of this game, but you could say there is a method of cheesing him. And the original one, it was the basic idea was this worked similarly. But come on, keep jumping around more, Psycho. Yeah, it's still taking poison damage. Poison seems to last a long time. Yeah, it gets the pathfinding gets confused about where I am, which is real nice because Flame Lurker is. He's the boss that you would really say that now this is the From Software boss. Relentlessly vicious, aggressive monster. Alright. Alright, maybe the pathfinding does know where to go. I was careless. And I got him. It took a lot of this kind of sneaking about movings to take the Flame Lurker out, but it went down. It is what if you would be going through this game in you could say intended order, he would be a real roadblock because of that big level of aggression he has. But there's still something around here. Well, let's just take the arch stone and go say hello to the blacksmith Ed. And I'll skip the travel there. Paying visit to the blacksmith Ed. The very grouchy guy wearing an apron and carrying a quite big hammer. Well, I'd say way too big.
What be your need? If it be a blacksmith, then show me your steel. If not, then head straight for the door.
Well, I wanna talk.
I told you that I'm busy. Each ore has a grade. Mighty weapons can only be blessed by ores of high grade. The highest grade of all is a pure ore that shines in utter brilliance. A spirit force that delights the eyes.
Well, he seems to be amused of his work.
The highest grade of all is
Okay.
the highest.
Okay, what? Okay, why he doesn't?
Yes, that's the one.
Oh yeah, now he talks.
A searing demon soul. With it I can forge new breeds of weapon. Bring me your most powerful souls.
So, giving him Flamelurker's soul, he can make demon weapons.
A wise choice. You've done well to put your trust in the great blacksmith, Ed. Bring me a demon soul, and I shall use it to bless your weapon.
Alright. He can make demon weapons, which are very important, but there's also one little mission which I would have to do in here. But, well, I would have to go back to the Flamelurker's lair, where I will be going in a few seconds to you. Well, I don't plan this quite so thoroughly ahead, so I had to resort to something a little bit different and go to the actual, well, before going to face a very scary looking boss, I'm having to go to the gates of, go forward from gates of Boletaria towards the Lord's Path, where the dragons hunt. And which is basically the location that they would Miyazaki assumed that, yep, this is the place where the player's going right after defeating Phalanx, naturally continuing forward. And that's over there, that white tower. That's the full palace of Boletaria, and that's what the dragons hunting means. They're running around, flying around, spewing fire at anything. And these towers provide a little bit of a, you could say, respite about their fire-breathing attacks. So the basic idea is still the same. You don't want to be at the receiving end of massive flying lizards' fire-breathing attack. For some reason, dragons in Souls games, at least in this and Dark Souls, hate bridges. It's just insane level of hate that they feel towards bridges. Why? I don't know. But they hate bridges. And there's plenty of soldiers around here. Maybe it was a barrack or something. Yeah, keep flaming the bridge, but I'm not on it anymore. Oh, and there would be a fog wall again. And of course, I could also go to the upstairs of these towers. There's some banners hanging about. Boletarian soldiers. I wonder why they have not become demonic or anything like that. Or maybe they are, they're just possessed. But dragon keeps flying around that regular path, and it is completely possible to kill it. Well, because despite that massive amount of firepower it has, it's really stupid thing. And some draglings. Alright, what? Oh yeah, and luckily the dragon fire is impartial about damage it causes. It kills anything. So yeah, there it goes, flies in a loop. And these chariots are really tough because they can endure that kind of napalm bombing. And some... No, you don't. And there's another knight. But using some sword attacks, it is possible to chop him down. And I would be going through some sort of large barrack. And there's a crystal lizard, eager to give its refinement materials. Oh, hard stone chunk. Pleasantly enough, this version of the Demon Souls does not demand you to get max upgrade weapons for trophies, because that job would demand a shitload of horrifying amount of grinding, and Boletharian Palace doesn't look particularly bad, in sense that State of Kingdom itself is very bad, but Palace itself appears quite good. Now it doesn't appear pristine, and it's suspiciously quiet and basic, but it doesn't really in complete sense look completely bad, as in all would be completely hell in here. So time to go and see what's ahead. A armored giant with a huge shield and scary looking helmet. And fat guys at the parapets, I think that's the word, ready to shoot me. So it's time to start hacking at Tower Knight's feet. Make him fall over. And not on top of me. And wail at his head. Did he already fall? Yep, I came here massively over leveled. Tower Knight went down. And defeating him without killing any archers above there nets you a trophy. So let's just take the Archstone and take his soul, Iron Demon soul, and go check what's this. There's some fog wall. Only those who have slain an archdemon may pass beyond this point. Yep. Can't go forward, must kill a world boss. But there's a world boss available for me to kill in Stonefang Tunnels. So it is gonna be an interesting boss fight. I'll be there. Intermission. I did not show Ostrova's reappearance, so let's have a chat with him, because if he's rescued, he appears here.
Here in Boletaria, we speak of the legend of the two swords and the solitary hero. The two swords are Demonbrand and Soulbrand. One sword banishes that which befouls man, and the other banishes man himself. The solitary hero is old King Doran. King Doran is the everlasting one, founder of Boletaria and protector of the two swords. Of course, only according to legend. But in the dark state of our land, sometimes legends are all we have.
And that is a hint about the bonus boss.
Clement led Boletaria with a round table of the bravest knights. The noble twin Fangs, Valifax and Bjor. Alfred, the Tower Knight. Metas, the Penetrator. And the brave tribesman Longbow Ulan and his fearsome legions. But today, Boletaria is an abysmal mess. Valifax was lost, and Bjor slipped through the fissure, never to be heard from again. All the rest, along with Boletaria, are either devoured by the fog or fallen afoul of the demons. The Boletarian knights are no longer. But perhaps our age will see the rise of new heroes, such as yourself.
Well, thank you, Ostrava. He seems well informed about many things. Well, spoiler, he's son of King Alant, he's a prince. And he's curious about what's going on. At Flamelurker's lair, behind it, lies a big corridor. There's some sort of slab which I think might have been used for sacrifices or something like that. But this corridor is, well, it leads to one very unfriendly person's home lair. And I do say that compared to the original one, this one, Dragon God, has gotten way more aware of things than it was. And I think it's also biggest gaming boss there is. Yep. I am shooting fire to break down a wall. Yep, this is one of those. This boss is something that it's more of a puzzle than a boss fight, because you really can't, something that big really can't be beaten in a direct fight unless you're Kratos, and even Kratos had to go try to make some really cunning plays to defeat something that large. And the fact that Kratos is a half god, and Jenna is not a half god. She's just a regular person fooled into or forced to join this kind of operation. So let's operate the ballista. Yeah, your hand is stuck, you're hurt. And it strikes. Well, the ballista was smashed, and my road forward has been opened, and it also cannot harass me that well, and also lost 1/3 of it, got a chunk of damage taken to it, given to it. So yeah, Dragon God is a boss about how you're gonna take down well, many things can be said about Dragon God. Interestingness as how interesting Dragon God is as a boss fight, but one thing is certain. if there's an intimidating boss fight, Dragon God is definitely a very strong contender of it. Like that. I do remember it had that kind of attack. Alright, continuing where I left off. Come on, don't spot me. Using one very big smash his sword. To break my path through all these kind of little obstacles there is. Don't spot me. There's still. Yep. I am here, not here. I am not here. I am not here. I am definitely not here. So let's just use the other ballista. No, the second arm has been punctured. And he's been knocked down right there. And that's a very telltale sign that hit here. This is where it hurts. This is the soft spot. So I'm gonna just take all my weapons, and now I have Hands of God ready to give it a good knockout. But even if the Dragon God has been beaten to that level of submission, both of its arms chopped through, it's not done yet. Its sheer size and the weight of its breath means that it still can do damage, but of course it ain't doing any of the one-hit kills anymore. It just breathes. Oh yeah, and that seemed to hurt it. Oh yeah, and it's got a quite bad breath. But luckily that's completely regular attack. So this is gonna be very boring phase of me hitting Dragon God's jaw with a metallic fist. Whenever it's gonna breathe out. Yeah, it's even drooling magma or lava. Left, right. Jab and cross. Classic combination of boxing, hand-to-hand combat. Yeah, keep breathing. Yep, I'm not taking any chances about my survival against this, because it would be very humiliating to be killed by dragon's foul breath after I have quite painstakingly managed to pierce both of its arms. Yeah, it was destroyed. But now let's just go see what might be that one location where the was mentioned about I would need to have an archdemon's soul. And it was in the gates of Boletaria or Boletarian Palace, so let's just go there. Now, at Inner Ward, where the Tower Knight was defeated, what might be that? Well, there's a little cutscene. Nothing really dramatic, but still quite necessary. Yep, I can go even further in Volatarian Palace and oh, you're ugly. But you got a nice hat. You got acne. No. Oh yeah, there will be unfriendly guy to hunt after, but time to end this episode. It had lots of things. Remember to subscribe and all that. See ya.